If there's one thing that defines the console, it's its controller. And boy, do we have a lot to talk about the Switches.
Let's go! Welcome back to Switch Week, everybody. Today we're going to be taking a huge close-up look at all of the different controller configurations.
Indeed. And the controllers have a name.
Yeah.
I didn't know this. They're called Joy-Cons.
Left and right.
So they're supposed to give us joy, I presume.
I think it's joystick controller, if I had to guess.
Well,
so
I think that they're trying to take our money, so it's a con. But it also gives us joy. So.
Yeah. So it works out in the end. Here's an overview of all of the different kind of components that were revealed on last Thursday's NX.
NS!
Yeah, the Nintendo Switch reveal. So we got Joy-Cons by themselves, we got a grip, Pro controller, just everything hooked into the screen, playing on the TV, and let's get into each of these individual ones. So this is a lot like a gamepad.
Yes.
The NS with the Joy-Cons attached to the side is pretty much a Wii U gamepad.
It is. Now, have they said much about how the Joy-Cons are going to slide off, or do we know anything about them?
We don't know anything about, like, if there's going to be a button to release. I would assume that, because otherwise you're going to be playing and the thing's going to go and crack on the ground.
Yep.
You'll be holding two Joy-Cons.
Or, and the screen's just...
Exactly.
But it is a little bit different from the gamepad. It does have the second joystick, and it has the C buttons.
Well, the gamepad has the joystick, but it's the configuration that's different. Like on Wii U, the gamepad and the Pro controller, the second stick is
that's right.
on the top. So this is
forget about it.
This is back to the like GameCube layout, and a lot of people are very excited about this. What's not quite so exciting is that there's no D-pad anywhere to be seen on this, because they want the Joy-Con L's buttons to be able to be used as face buttons, I guess.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that the software on this console is really smart, and it knows, like, if you're just playing with the single Joy-Con L, that it will adapt. Instead of, say, like A, it'll show you a right arrow or something like that.
I am sure hoping so.
Yeah. But overall, this looks very familiar, and if we like using the gamepad, we'll like using this, I think.
I think so.
So we have the Joy-Con grip, and that's, you know, when you're playing at home, you got your screen docked. You're going to need somewhere to put those Joy-Cons if you don't want to be playing with just one in each hand loose. So if you want the feeling of a normal controller, you've got the grip.
And that is an option that we have, is that it's not like the Joy-Cons, you know, stick into something and then that sends the message to the console. The Joy-Cons themselves go directly, so you can play free-handed, even though I don't know why you would.
Yeah. So this grip, it shouldn't cost too much. There is a little bit of electronics in them. There's lights that show up to say if the Joy-Cons are connected, and also what player you are. It could be number 1 through 4.
And probably some sort of battery indication, I can imagine.
Yeah, and it's a big question whether or not the Joy-Cons have battery. If this thing has battery, like, it doesn't need battery, but it could charge the Joy-Cons. We just don't know how the whole battery situation is going to look. Freehand, this is what you're talking about.
Yes.
This is like, you just grab your Switch, take it on the plane and go with no other accessories. You got the game card in it, and you just slide the controllers off. I don't think I would mind this at all, because I actually like Wii Remote Nunchuck setup, and I think that this will feel pretty good.
I think for some games that's fun, like for Legend of Zelda, you want to do that. For fighting games, though, I like to have something solid in my hands.
Totally.
And I'm still blown away that this thing is called the Switch, and we're going to get into how we think about the marketing, but it blows my mind that we had to call it something different now. Yeah.
And we can actually see it. Alright, so this is the most controversial thing probably of the whole Switch reveal trailer. This is the ability to play with a single Joy-Con, which is like half a controller with, you know, not much grip on the underside or anything like that. I don't think it looks that comfortable.
No, and to me this brings up two things that I'm excited about and one thing that I'm kind of worried about.
Okay.
the one thing that I'm worried about is how they're going to treat some games, because this is a way of playing multiplayer.
Yeah.
You know, this is nice because, you know, you don't have to buy a whole extra set of controllers. But are they going to have to dumb down some games in order to make it compatible with this?
I don't like the language you're using.
And so that's one thing. But the two things that I'm excited about is, one, multiplayer experiences are going to be easier.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be somewhat enjoyable. But it also, I think, maybe an exciting chance for retro stuff.
Gotcha.
NES stuff is really in season now with NES Classic and stuff.
True.
It's time for the SNES stuff to make a comeback again.
Gotcha.
And so,
well, in order for that to happen, these Joy-Cons would need to have
working shoulder buttons.
And that's actually a possibility. See how this guy is holding it? Pretty much everybody that's shown in the Switch trailer has their index fingers, it seems like, intentionally placed on something. Now, this has two shoulder buttons, but they're on the right side. Right. They're on the top or the bottom, and they're probably going to get accidentally pressed while you're holding this thing.
Right.
Not going to be convenient to get to, not in good placement. So it's actually possible that they have two unique shoulder buttons that are made for when you're playing by yourself.
Yes.
And I watched in the trailer, people are playing Mario Kart, and they're actually drifting. So you need a shoulder button in order to drift. Mm-hmm. So I'd say it's promising. Nowhere are these buttons shown. They're always, if they're there, they're covered by these fingers. So that's something interesting to point out. And then also, our plus and minus buttons are their own little things.
Yeah.
Little cutouts.
Yeah, they're cutout buttons.
Yeah.
That
no big deal.
Yeah.
So
are they plastic? Are they rubber? Do we know? We don't know.
So we actually see the Switch screen getting slided. I don't know if slid was a word.
I think slided is proper.
Okay. Slided into a car mount. And I think that Nintendo could sell this thing.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely not going to come in the box.
I see money.
Yeah.
The Nintendo smells money. They're going to sell this separately.
Yeah. So Mario Kart, I could see that's a game you don't need a whole lot of buttons for. It's a good fit for playing with two people on just your basic controls.
Indeed, and we're going to get into games tomorrow, so don't worry about that.
True that, man. Now, here we have the Pro Controller, and this might be the most exciting option of them all.
Yeah, and this is the Switch Pro, correct? Is that what it's called?
Exactly correct. I knew that before I even saw an announcement. I was like, they've been using the Pro name for so long. I like how the D-pad's finally back.
Yes.
In this configuration. That's the only way you're going to get a real D-pad playing on the Switch. And bigger face buttons would be nice.
I think this is a must for serious gamers. Right. This is going to be a must.
Now, I skipped the Wii U Pro controller, but for this one, I'm going to want that D-pad, I think. This has all the buttons that you'd get on the Joy-Cons. It has plus, minus, has the home button, and then something that's on the left side of this controller and also on Joy-Con L is a mysterious button. It's like share or something. It's that one.
Yeah.
It's just a square button with a circle icon inside. It could be like, snap a picture to put on Miiverse, share, could be, open up your friends list. It's very vague and ambiguous, and no one's saying anything about it. So there you go. Simeon, what control schemes are you looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to this one. I think that this is probably... this one's probably going to be the one that, like, if I'm playing a fighting game or whatever, I'm going to pick up this.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'll probably just keep it simple and use the Joy-Cons with a grip,
there
probably, or by themselves. I don't know. All of these seem appealing.
Okay. Awesome.
We'll see if it happens to be so.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for being part of the crew.
Don't forget to share the joy of Nintendo and the joy of the crew with other people by hitting the share button and spreading it out.
We promise it's not a big con. We'll see you guys next time.
It'll bring you a lot of joy. Signing out.